tackled extremely well tonight. And, it was 7 takeaways last week, not this week. They had three that led 17 points inside our 25-yard line. So that's very hard to overcome. But where we find ourselves, so we're running out of firsts. We had our first win together. Today we had our first loss together. I do love the way they compete. Love the way they keep straining and, as we say, keep chopping. Certainly not 1 ounce of giving in, but this isn't. It's about winning and losing, and that's what we're trying to do. We'll build this thing the right way. I believe in our guys. They stuck to the plan throughout, but it's disappointing.
With that, we'll take our first question from Keith Sargent with NJ.com.
Greg, was there a common theme or a common issue with Noah's 3 interceptions? It looked like he was pressured on 2 of them, but was there a common issue?
Well, 2 of them for sure, his arm got hit, right? So that's why the balls went like in almost an end-over-end trajectory. Those are hard. You get hit throwing the ball. There's usually a combination of things, and protection wasn't good enough. We got to have a clock in our head that we got to get rid of it. I didn't have the get-off times. They're recorded, but I didn't ask for them. But it really, we'll fix that in the course of this week. But that was really the common theme, was that, the arm got hit. So that's encouraging if you can protect. They weren't just throwing to the other team, but, we got to protect better, and we got to make sure we understand that clock in your head.
Our next question is from Chris Eisman, Gannett.
Yeah, Greg, some of the penalties, is that just early season stuff that can be cleaned up, or is there something more to it that?
Yeah, it's probably early season. I mean, we actually won the penalty battle. Not that you like winning with 8, but yeah, I guess it's early season. We have to stop it. We can't do it. I don't think there's ever an excuse for penalties, right? Do what you do legally or don't do it. But that's easy to say. Guys care so much that they want to make the block, right? And as the guy's getting away from him, they reach out and grab. You got to trust that your skill guy will make a miss. If you lose him, he'll make a miss. Don't worry about it. If he doesn't, we'll line up and play it down. But it's not going to be worse than that penalty that marches us back 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So those are things we got to get better at. It's a long list of that, but yes, that's something, regardless of what our opponent did, we need to do better.
Next question from James Cratch, NJ.com.
Greg, it's 2 games in. What do you think about the offense so far? It seems like a couple of drives aside, you've been pretty stagnant the last 2 weeks.
I'm not ready to go there, Cratch. I think, we have to become consistent. We do some things to move the football at times that are exciting. At other times, that's a good defense. And as you saw by the result today, Michigan State's a good team too. Right? So we played 2 good teams. And I think you all know this, but every week you play in the Big Ten, you're playing a good team. So get ready. I mean, if you're not ready to play at optimum level, it's going to be hard to move the ball. It's going to be hard to stop them. It's going to be hard to be effective in the kicking game. This is the top of the food chain. So we have to learn to live and perform at the top of the food chain.
Our next question is from Bobby Darren, 24/7.
Greg, I know last week you talked about what you learned about the team in the win. What have you learned about this team in today's game?
I think the same thing I learned in the win. When things didn't go well, they kept chopping, and tonight things didn't go well for a long period of time, and they just kept playing hard. And we made some errors, we made some mistakes. But, I often say this. I've said this before. I don't like when people say, we made mistakes or we beat ourselves. That team's a really good football team, and they force you to make errors. Unforced errors, that's something else, but forced errors are real. Right? Guy can make you lose your gap because he digs you out of it. Right? So we need to improve. I didn't think it was going to be, wham, here we go. But keep working at it.
Next question from Steve Politti, NJ.com.
Hey, Greg, I've got a two-parter for you. First, what's going through your mind during that final desperation play when Bo gets to the end zone? And the second part is, how much of your coaching in the second half, going for it on fourth down, going for two a couple of times, the onside kick, is setting a tone for this program that you're not going to quit in games like this?
Well, the first part of it, we practiced that play. That's one of our end-of-game plays. And it never plays out the same, obviously, because who knows, the beginning of it starts the same, but then who knows where it goes from the pitch fest, right? I don't know. I couldn't tell you if that was a forward pass. How do I know? I do know this, that they really executed it about as well as you can. They refused to go down with the ball, which is not easy to do. How many times do you watch a game and see guys go down with the ball? I mean, you see it all the time. And they refused to go down with the ball. And I thought it was a tremendous effort. I didn't come back here to lose. I'm not saying we're going to win every game or we're going to win them all right away, but we're going out there and we're playing to win. So if it means going on fourth down, if it means going for two, whatever it means, that's what we're going to do. I promise these kids that, and as hard as they work, they deserve that.
Take a couple more questions. Our next question from Chris Nowalski from Rivals.
Hey, Coach. I'm just curious what you thought of the way K-Ron Adams ran the ball, and if we'll see a running back by committee going forward.
Well, I thought K-Ron gave us a little spark. That's for sure. And sometimes it's like that. I thought Isaiah ran hard. I thought Aaron ran hard. Sometimes guys get a little groove going. So, but it hasn't not been that. I mean, to be frank, just because certain guys get carries or don't get carries, we have real confidence in all of our running backs. And, we just kind of, Coach Hoffman and Coach Gleason, we talk about it throughout the game. If somebody's got a hot hand, we let them roll. If we're looking for a spark, we know we have other good players, and we're gonna let them play.
We'll take one final question. We'll go back to James Crash.
Greg, I just, on the first onside kick, you guys here, you called timeout. Just curious what happened there and why you guys, because it looks like you got the bounce that you would have needed if the play had gone through.
Yeah, well, they weren't, that was a little different. That was more of a catch them off guard onsides. So it was a technical error. And I'm not sure. We got to get it sorted out. But they had the opportunity to adjust and then to adjust again. And I'm not sure that I got to look into why that was the case. But once they adjusted, I didn't want to run an onside kick at that point in the game. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Guys, I appreciate it, and sure we're gonna have a lot. God willing, we'll have many more. So appreciate you covering us.
Thank you for the time, Coach.